In 1603, while Caravaggio was serving prison time for defamation, he signed a contract with the heirs of Ermite Cavalletti to paint an altarpiece for their family chapel here in the Basilica of Sant Agostino. The painting that Caravaggio produced is called the Madonna of Loreto, also sometimes called the Pilgrims Madonna in English. And like everything else that Caravaggio did, this painting shook the Roman world at the beginning of the 17th century, because never before had they seen an image of religious subject matter with such contemporary hyper-realism. In fact, the Madonna, barefoot, looking more like an overworked housewife, set inside of a 17th century Roman palazzo, complete with chipped plaster, with a chipped molding around the door, carrying this naked Christ child in her arms. In fact, the only thing that would suggest that they are holy beings is those faint halos that you see above their heads. And then in the lower right-hand corner, these pilgrims who have come to pay homage to the Christ child, shown with their bare, dirty feet, these characteristic lower-class Roman faces at the time, folding their hands in reverence to the Madonna and Christ child. Now, the theme of the painting, this Madonna of Loreto, is because Loreto is a town in the Italian region of Le Marche, where allegedly in the Middle Ages, angels had picked up the home of the Virgin Mary and flown it there, and today there is a sanctuary built around it. So the idea that the subject of the painting was one where we see Mary in a kind of domestic setting. But instead here, Caravaggio puts her inside of this dark, gloomy Roman alleyway instead. And in fact, it really struck a chord with the people of Rome to see themselves portrayed in these religious paintings. And this is something that Caravaggio did quite often throughout his career. In fact, one of Caravaggio's earliest biographers, a man named Giovanni Baglioni, who, by the way, was the man who actually sued Caravaggio for libel, and the reason Caravaggio was in prison, wrote about this particular painting that the popolani ne fu un gran schiamazzo, that the peasants made a big cackle about this painting because they finally saw themselves portrayed in the high art of the Roman Baroque world. And if you're here in Rome at the Basilica of Sant Agostino, be sure to also check out Raphael's fresco of the prophet Isaiah on one of the piers there on the left-hand side. And also right at the entranceway, the statue of the Madonna del Parto, which the Romans maintain is still intervening miraculously to save babies in particularly difficult childbirths.